We're talking about being ghosted, y'all. Did he block? He blocked me, so no, because I'm confrontational. I got 3 cell phones. You think you just gonna block me? You look like you ghost people.
No shade, I do. It don't be on purpose though. When somebody else is being very clingy towards me, I don't like that because it's like, whoa, I don't like that.
Hey, welcome to the Trigger Happy Hour where we take shots of the truth straight with no chase.
It's your host that do the most, Jaquan Darnisha, and get ready as we dive deep, laugh loud, and unpack triggers you've been dodging.
Buckle up, y'all, because healing ain't always pretty,
but it's always real. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy, Daquan. I like to give it to you straight with no chase. Let's go ahead and flip that negative thought process into a positive mindset and make today popping for you.
Hey, y'all. Hey, it's your girl, Darnisha, licensed mental health counselor, mommy of 2. My approach is simple. I like to give it to you straight with no chase, but sometimes I got to sweeten it up a little bit and put a little sugar on that rim. But either way it go, I'm going to give it to y'all 100 proof truth.
All right. So you know how we do it. We want you to think of a song choice that would best describe the mood that you're feeling today. So, D, what is your song choice for today?
I don't know the artist, but the song goes, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm having a lovely day. I was able to advocate for my baby girl today. Y'all know I mentioned before she is on the spectrum and she don't have a voice, but her mama do. And I had a lovely day speaking up for my baby. What about you, bro? What's your song choice of the day?
Ooh, I don't know. It's kind of hard, because I'm in a good mood, right? But I'm also in a mellow mood. So I can't think of a song that's giving you like that mellow vibe. You can always go to Jill Scott. You know how she said, woke up this morning with a smile on my face. And listen.
Okay.
And actually, I did
Jill,
kinda,
not the little one.
The Afro Jill, the live my life is golden Jill. Okay. So
That's
yeah, but I also want to highlight, girl, your mood. Coming from, what was the song choice she had last week?
Well, I don't even remember, but I know it
the
should have been Mary J. Blige. I'm going down how depressed I was feeling last week. So I don't even know. So,
but I just want to highlight that, girl, that emotional improvement. I love that for you. I really, really do. Look.
Clock it.
Clock it. You get on my nerve with this thing.
Yes. So, disclaimer, this is not a substitution for therapy. We are just a sounding board. If at any time within this episode you feel some kind of way, make sure you step away, take a couple deep breaths, or even turn the episode off if you have to. But just know that we're here to support. And if you need professional help, then make sure you seek a professional counselor. Right. So today's topic hits close to home for a lot of people. We're talking about being ghosted, y'all. You know, that moment when somebody you're dating, talking to, or maybe even just close friends with, they just disappear. No warning, no explanation, just silence. So we're going to break this thing down. What counts as ghosting? Ghosting happens when someone suddenly cuts off all communication without explanation, without warning. It could have been after a few dates or even after a few months of connecting. And sometimes it's not even romantic. Friends and even family members, they can ghost you too.
Not to be funny, I've done it too. Baby, so many things. I have ghosted people and I've been ghosted. So, I can attest to my faults too. And you're sitting there wondering if you did something wrong. And that's the hardest part. There's no closure. Your mind keeps looping, trying to make sense of something that doesn't have an ending. So, Darnisha, do you have any ghost stories?
Baby, let me tell you, I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Let me go ahead and drink my tea. Mm-hmm.
I have some ghost stories. I do want to tell y'all about a time that I was ghosted because it literally just caught me off guard. And I feel like what goes around comes around. So that was well deserved. That was well done, sir. Well done. Ghosting.
Clap that.
Listen, we went out on Friday. We went on a day date, like during the day. We had a good time. Well, I thought we had a good time because he asked me to go out again. He was, and then even like, let's go hang out next weekend. It was like, so what are you doing tomorrow? So I'm like, okay, cool. He's interested. I'm interested. And let me just put this out there. This was somebody outside of my comfort zone. I'm just going to add that, right? And it always be the ones that's outside of your comfort zone that be the ones that, ghost you. Anywho, I digress.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
we had this date. Then the next day, he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to see you again." Playing in my hair because sometimes I wear my real hair when it's new people because I want them to know I ain't no bald head, scallywag, ain't got no hair in the back. So he playing in my hair. We taking selfies, we taking pictures, and then the next day, crickets. When he typically would text me in the morning, "Good morning, I had a good time, blase splee." No communication. So I waited a little while when I realized he wasn't texting me. So I text him. We both had iPhones, but that message wasn't saying delivered. So I'm like, let me try again. So I tried again later on in the day. Message still wasn't saying
Oh.
delivered.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Did he block? He blocked me. So no, because I'm confrontational. I got 3 cell phones. You think you just finna block me? So I grabbed one of my other cell phones.
I'm
And I'm like,
screaming.
let me see if this was an actual block. So I got on my phone, I started texting. It said, whoop, it went straight through. And let me tell you what the text said, because I'm confrontational, but I'm also going to have you thinking like, So I said, it appears that I'm blocked for whatever reason. However, I had a great time with you last night and no hard feelings. This will be my last text. Have a good day. And I pressed send.
Oh, very passive aggressive.
But my feelings was hurt for 24 hours because that's one thing about me. I have a very small window to care. And I cared within that 24 hours. And then after that, I was over it. But it did sting a little bit in that 24 hours. That's my ghost story. Now, what you got some ghost stories?
Girl, not as good as that. That was good. I gotta sit my tea on that one because girl got blocked.
I got blocked, bro.
Hold on.
Dang,
Let's be
what I
serious.
do?
Hold on. Let's be. Now you said that you was hurt. Let's process this.
I do not have to process a 24-hour breakup. I'm good on the therapizing.
'Cause you gave on getting
How I got
blocked.
ghosted?
Yeah, got ghosted. I guess
Blocked.
and blocked. That's the killer part. It's the
It's
it's
the
not
block.
only that I'm not going to I'm not gonna say nothing to you. I had said it had delivered. I said, well, I got two other phones, so let me go ahead and check one of them.
Listen,
So
we listen and we
if we
don't
don't,
judge. Let me hit you up on one of my other phones because I'm delusional. Make sure. I had to make sure.
I had to make positive. I had to say myself saying, I've been blocked. Oh,
You laughing too hard, bro. Man, stop playing. I feel attacked.
I'm laughing with you, not at you, baby. We healed. We are healed. Like you said, 24 hours. You don't need to. Yeah,
I
he was
said he
definitely out
wasn't my
here.
typical type.
Yeah, because he ghosted that ass. Okay. Oh, girl, I don't know. Because no shade. I
You
got
look
so
like you
many.
ghost people.
No shade. I do. It don't be on purpose, though. So I'm gonna tell my point. So this one dude had tried to get to know me and stuff like that. I don't know, it just be like, you can get my attention, but it's all about keeping my attention. That's the important part, right? This dude had did something. I can't even remember what it was because I blocked it out my mind because it ain't even that important because he wasn't a factor. Like Evelyn, to me, wasn't a factor because it was just a lot of layers. And
Mm-hmm.
also for me, I would say I was also in that space where I wasn't ready for a relationship anyway, just because I just, got out of a relationship. So, and I think it was the being very clingy. Like I know I can be clingy, but when somebody else is being very clingy towards me, I don't like that because it's like, whoa, you, I don't like that. let me be the one that's clingy, or at least let me have some attraction to you, to that, for me to keep want to be like, okay, I can see being with
Mhm.
you. I can, but if it's something that you just do, like let's say you hop and spit in a garbage can or something like that, I don't like that. Snoring real bad. We listen and don't judge. But
I'm not judging.
if you snore to the point where like you rocking the bells, rocking the house, we're not compatible. We're not
No,
compatible.
y'all not compatible because the brother snore. She's oh peas. This is a tough crowd.
Listen, I'm very vain. I can admit that. I'm very vain. But if I'm trying to sleep, actually, like it was one time, especially if I work overnight, and when you get off that overnight, it's that morning, and if your person is still asleep or whatever, you trying to go to sleep, and you get into bed, and then they try to cuddle on you, and then they snore in your ear. Get away from me. Turn over. Turn over. Turn to your left. Yeah, I know. I'm horrible. I'm
Wait, so
horrible.
when did the ghosting occur? When did you ghost him? What happened? You gotta land the plane now. Land the plane.
So the individual was very clingy. He decided he wants to text me, and I just never responded. Like I'll see it, and I don't have my red messages on. I never had that on because I don't like that. I like to know if somebody read my account, but then I see that you left me on red, bitch. I'm mad.
Okay. So it sounds like you're very one sided. You can be clingy, but they can't be clingy. You want to know when they read your messages, but they can't.
So no, not
You run a tight
necessarily.
shift over there. A very,
No,
very,
so
very tight shift.
So no, not necessarily. I think it's also, yes, I can be one-sided. I can be one-sided. The snore, I don't snore. I know I don't snore. I've done a sleeps test and to make sure that I don't snore. So I just breathe very heavily. So there's none of that, okay? My
Okay.
tonsils are not clattering, all right?
Now let's get into the why, because I think that's the $1,000,000 question everybody want to know. Why do people ghost?
Why do people ghost? Most ghosting is avoidance strategy. I will say I do have an avoidance issue. Some people don't know how to handle emotional discomfort or confrontation, i.e., me. I'm not a confrontational type of person. I went to therapy for all that to start being able to have those difficult conversations. I may not want to have them, but now I'm at a stage in my life where I can have those conversations. And going back to the topic, it's easier for them to disappear than to say, hey, I'm not interested anymore. So basically, they don't want to be the bad guy, but disappearing actually makes it worse.
Yes, and I'm kind of the opposite of that. Like I said, I am confrontational. I don't mind having that tough conversation, but I always take accountability for how something made me feel. Like, hey, I felt this way, I felt disrespected, or I didn't feel supported, or anything of that nature. But some people are non confrontational and they're not ready for that tough conversation, or they're not ready for that uncomfortable conversation. But I rather get it all out, because one thing I don't want to do is fake kick it. So if we got
Yeah,
something that we need to hash out, let's just hash it out, because fake kicking it just don't work for me.
yeah,
Now, going back to saying that it's easier to just disappear than to say I'm not interested anymore, I can attest to that. Not wanting to have that conversation with somebody that's into you and you're not really that into them, but I had to stop doing that, because I used to ghost people too. And a lot of the times you will say to somebody, "Oh, I'm in a relationship," or "I
yeah.
got a man," or "I got too much going on right now," when they just don't get it, or they
Don't
just
get it.
won't go away. So ultimately, you like, you know what? I just got to cut all communication off because you're not getting it.
Yeah.
So going back to that avoidance strategy, and sometimes it just ties into the attachment styles. People with avoidant attachment often pull away when
Uh-huh.
relationships start to feel too close or emotionally intense. They ghost to protect themselves from vulnerability. And that stings, because while they protecting themselves, they hurting somebody else. And you left questioning your worth because somebody goes to you and you thinking everything was going good, but they doing it to protect themselves. And now you out there ass out feeling some kind of way. But
Yeah.
remember, their silence says more about their limitations than your value.
Yeah. Let's be real. Being ghosted can send you on a spiral. You start checking your texts, rereading messages, analyzing every emoji. And that happens because your brain is wired for closure. I've done that plenty of times when I would go back and reread the messages, look at the different emojis, like, what did I say? What did I do?
Mhm.
Let me go back into the conversation when I had. Prime example, one guy that I was really, really feeling, we sending, each other messages, all those things. And then all of a sudden, because since I get up early, I will usually send out the morning texts. So I'll be the first to initiate the texts. Then I said, let me double back down to see if they would do the same.
Mhm.
And none of that happens. So I'm like, let me go back. Like, dang, I thought we was kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I thought you really liked me and all those things. And it would just, I had to go back and reread those messages. You can see anybody being on Facebook. You can see them posting on Instagram, all these social media outlets, but you can't sit there and text me back instantly, but you can post two or three right back to back, you know?
Mhm.
Um, when someone disappears without explanation, it triggers the same stress response as loss or rejection. And when that happens, self-blame shows up fast. What did I do wrong? Was I not enough? But healing starts when you realize you didn't do something wrong. Someone else avoided doing something right.
Wait, wait, wait.
And
Say that again. Say that again.
you didn't do something wrong. Someone else avoided doing something right.
I gotta write that down. And that's
Yeah.
facts because we blame ourselves a lot. And those negative cognitive distortions start to come into our mind like, dang, did he not like me? What did I say something wrong? Did I wear the wrong outfit? And that's not even like, don't start blaming yourself. And that's why I say I got a 24-hour window to care, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't dwell on somebody walking away from me because I know what value I bring. And I'm talking about I know my value as an employer. I know my value as an employee. I know my value as a mom. I know my value as a friend. I know my value as a companion. So if you walk away from me or if you disconnect with me, you're going to feel my absence. So I'm not worried about the disconnect because I know the type of person that I am. I know how loyal I am. I know how committed I am. I know how I give. I know my heart. I know all of that. And your destiny is not tied to somebody or something that walked away from you. So that's one part of the going into the healing process. How to move forward because the goal isn't to chase answers, it's to find peace. And your peace comes from knowing within who you are, not chasing happiness from somebody else, but already having that happiness within yourselves. So, step one, I want you guys to reality check your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, oh, they must not have liked me, reframe it as, oh, they just wasn't emotionally available enough to communicate. What is that saying, Daquan? Low emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
Some people
Low
aren't, some
emotional.
people just don't have it.
Yeah. I think I want you to kind of go back to that part and say that again. You have to what? You have to reframe that phrase. Can you go back and say that to them again?
Yeah, they weren't emotionally available enough to communicate. That's on them. Mhm.
That hits. And because again, as you stated, we take on that negative mind frame and started blaming us. And hence why it cuts into our self-esteem. But step two, feel your feeling. Ghosting is a form of loss. You're allowed to grieve it. Step three, don't chase closure. Don't we all try to chase that? We always
Mhm.
try to find that closure. You can send
Mhm.
one message if you need to, but don't keep chasing someone who's showing you they can't show up. You deserve people who communicate, not people who don't decode. Reconnect with yourself. You got to do all those
Yes.
things.
Yeah. Cuz you are it. You are that guy. You are that girl. And I want y'all to remember that. It's not your fault if somebody doesn't want to rock with you. You rock wittable.
Okay? Rock the bell.
Okay? You rock wittable. You ain't got to worry about the person that don't want to rock with you cuz it's somebody that's praying to rock with you. And you gotta believe that. You gotta believe that. And then if you're the person that's doing the ghosting, what's so hard about saying, hey, you know what? We're just not compatible. You know what? I had a good time, but I think that was our last date.
Yeah. And don't it's the thing about leading people on too.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that you are not interested in that person, go ahead and just let them know because it's not fair to them. Imagine how you felt when somebody you really rocked with ghosted you. That can
Mm-hmm.
be partner, that can be a best friend, that can be family, all these people, all these different relationship dynamics. It doesn't matter who it is. A ghost is a ghost.
A
You
ghost is a
lost.
ghost.
So again, like you said, you got to grieve that loss because it's a grieving process. Hence why it's ghosted because they
Yeah.
no longer here. If you ever been ghosted, just know this: you didn't imagine the pain, and you didn't deserve the silence. Healing is about finding peace, even without the apology.
Amen. So y'all already know what time it is, y'all. It is Q&A time.
Is this?
Let's
Is it?
get it.
It's time for the Q&A. 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 It's time for the Q&A.
All right. Daquan, what's that good Q&A question looking like today?
Today's Q&A comes from AJ in North Philly, and he wants to know, I'm thinking about getting back with my ex, but I have some reservations. How do you know when to double back?
Ask Ashanti and Nelly. But okay, so this is the thing. I'm gonna go here. The healed version of me versus the unhealed version of me.
Okay.
The
I like
unhealed,
that.
you
I
know what
like
I'm
that.
saying?
I like that.
The healed version of me wouldn't dare double back to some of the places that I've been, right? Because I was there when I was unhealed and it wasn't a healthy environment. However, in addition to that, though, the healed version of me right now recognizes when I was in decent relationships as the unhealed version. And there were times, and I can say at least one or two relationships where I'm like, I probably could have worked through that had I been in the right mind space, right? So to answer the question, you got to see where you are in life right now and where that person is in life right now. Do you guys share the same core values? What are your interests? What are your non negotiables? Because sometimes you double back and you realize why you left them alone in the first place. And how about when they double back just to play in your face? Like, why did you come back around just to do this or just to not
Yes.
be available? Like, I don't get it. That's crazy work.
Yes. So that was cute. You ate with that one. I like
I like
that
it.
because, baby, I like the unhealed version versus the healed version, right? Because if we're gonna go into the unhealed version, X for a reason. Where I went wrong and my doubling back, because I did have the double back because I thought it was the one that got away.
That's a good one.
When we got together, I was broken and damaged. Not broken and damaged, but I didn't understand love at that time. I wanted to find love. I wanted to be loved, but I didn't have love within myself. So the broken version of me didn't have those things and was seeking, right? Now, where I'm at in life now, going back, there was a 6-year gap from us. So there was no seeing if our core values align, seeing if we had the same interests. This person wasn't the same person I knew 6 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the same person I was 6 years ago. Even if you married to somebody for 30 years, you didn't marry the same person that you married when you first married them 30 years ago. Because each year we all change.
Yeah.
Because we have to change in order for us to evolve into a better person. If I'm going to be that same person that you married 30 years ago, there was no growth.
Ain't that what the kids do? You ate. Ain't that what they do?
you know,
What's this right here?
don't get me to because I ain't got no kids. I don't know. uh, but no, that's just facts. That intuition is for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to it. Reevaluate the situation that you're getting into before y'all double back. Get to know each other again. It also depends the time frame on when you're trying to double back. Because baby, if it was 6 months ago, huh? You-
So what you're saying is very minimal change had to occur within that 6 month time span. Is that what you're saying? Like if it was 6 months
yes,
ago, that wasn't enough time that lapsed?
yes.
Okay.
Like
All right. So today we covered a lot. We talked
yes.
about ghosting. What does ghosting look like? Why do people ghost? And how do you move on from being ghosted, or if you're the one being the ghoster, how to
Yes.
stop doing that?
Yeah. Hold on. Be honest with people. And you know what? Be honest with yourself.
Be honest
Because
with yourself.
because I'm not into that person. Let me stop playing with them. You know, also we talked about the emotional impact on how it can take one's self-esteem, and it can, bring you down, and how you
Mm-hmm.
can get in this spiral because you're trying to find closure when that person blocks you, and things.
I feel attacked.
It's all love, baby.
Messages turn green, okay? Like, hold on, what's going on? We
Ah,
can both
shut
got
up.
iPhones.
No, no, it wasn't turned green, baby. It just wasn't delivered.
It just wasn't. It wasn't delivered. It hadn't been delivered.
Okay. Nah, all love here. Uh, we also talk about healing and coping. Do your steps. Do a reality check on your thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking they must not have want me, reframe that. Okay, let's reframe that negative thought and say they just weren't emotionally available enough to communicate.
Come on now.
It's not me. They just couldn't communicate emotionally because they didn't know how to. It's not
Cause it ain't
right
me.
and it's not okay. But I'm gonna make it anyway.
Anyway,
In the late
pack your
great
bags
up and
up
leave.
and leave.
Okay,
Don't you dare.
come
Don't
around
you
and
dare.
play with me. Hold on. Nippy, she ain't playing. Okay, she ain't.
In the words of Whitney Houston, what she said again, Daquan, bring it on back.
It's not right, but it's okay, and I'm gonna make it just anyway. So pack your bags and up and leave. Don't you dare go around and play with me.
That
Now
is
bye.
not. It's running back to me. What is you
Well,
talking about?
potato,
That's just
girl.
like a Negro just making up their own.
You know us black folks, we like to make up words.
Oh, child, Lord have mercy. All right. So we got one more segment for y'all, and that is affirmation and action of the day.
So, you ready? The affirmation of today is you're a bad No,
And
you're a bad and go be that bad and be relaxed, okay?
So is that the action? The affirmation is you were bad, and the action is go be one. Okay, we got it.
Go be that baby.
So that does conclude today's episode of the Trigger Happy Hour. As always, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. Remember, your feelings are valid, your worth matters, and you are not alone. If today's episode hit, share it with somebody who needs to hear it, leave us a review, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss what's next.
And that's a wrap for this round of Trigger Happy Hour, where we take shots of the truth with no chaser. Just raw conversations where the shots are sharp and it takes a sharper, and nothing gets off the table. If you like what you heard, hit that follow button, leave a review, and tell someone who can handle the heat. Pull up a bar stool next week for more real talk. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until then, stay bold, stay loud, and don't water it down. Cheers.